Well, good morning. Once again, we're here. You know, we have been highlighting our vendors and sponsors from this great event to prevent suicide. And I have another great one for you here. Sir, introduce yourself. Can you tell us your name?
Absolutely. My name is Mitch Webb. I'm a health coach here in the Raleigh-Durham area. I work one-on-one with my clients, and I customize nutrition, movement, and I really focus on mental emotional side, so like trauma releasing and stress relief.
Wow, releasing trauma. Trauma has a lot to do with a lot of people with this particular event when it comes to suicide awareness and suicide prevention. So let me ask you this. What made you lock into this event particularly? Did you see a correlation between what you do and the potential victims for suicide?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, number one, my brother took his life years ago, and that's how Cheyenne and I met. And number two, suicide is a result of trauma. It's a profound lack of self-love for self when we've had negative experiences in our environment, especially growing up, where their environment failed us by not meeting our needs. And so instead of saying, hey, you're bad, as a child, that's impossible. So we turn it on ourselves and we say, I'm bad, I'm no good. And if that continues and that snowballs, it can be in a place like that.
Wow. Well, I'm so sorry to hear about your brother. And I know that this is a personal mission for you now since you shared that information. So how did you incorporate that into what you do as a health coach?
You know, I just really wanted to help people. I saw a lack of resources, a lack of communication, a lack of feeling safe enough to communicate what's going on. And so I wanted to help people any way I can. And over the years, that started off as nutrition and customizing that. It was exercise. I called it mindset. And as I dove into my own pain, my own trauma, and saw the massive benefits of what happens when we're able to resolve that and move forward, I want to share that with everybody. I think it's the greatest gift you can give someone is a safe, regulated nervous system.
So talk to me about your method with a client. A new client comes into you, and how does that process work?
The thing is, there is no process and there is no method, and that's what gets us in trouble. We have to meet the person with where they're at and attune to what's going on in their situation. And
Wow.
That means meeting the day, the moment, the second. If we try to come in with some type of cookie cutter, an idea of something that we want to do, we're going to hurt that person that day because we're not meeting them. And that's what trauma victims need. They need to be seen, they need to be heard, and we need to meet what's there, not our agenda.
Wow, that's deep. That's really good. So now, how can someone reach out to you if they want to know more?
You can find me at mitchwebb.com. I'm on Instagram, kmitchwebb, Facebook, and LinkedIn as well.
And you take a new client?
Absolutely.
Who is your ideal client?
Somebody who's willing to do the work and ready to change, and can see that, supporting themselves from a holistic standpoint when it comes to health and nutrition, exercise, mindset, and going into some of those dark places that we've been afraid to. It's not that I'm not a therapist, so I'm not necessarily concerned with understanding what happened, although we can talk about that. It's more about the patterns that have happened since then, the survival patterns that have kept us safe, but they're not really in alignment with who we want to be now. So, we have to go really slow with that. And we peel one layer back at a time, and my big focus is building what's called capacity in the nervous system, capacity to deal with more stress. If we're here, we go out, we're going to be stuck in fight or flight or in shutdown. So we want to open that window up and build regulation over time.
Wow, that's good. So when I hear trainer and health coach, I think of one or two things. I think of someone who's going to take me to the gym and get me to work out.
Yeah.
Or I think of someone who's going to go over my diet and, what I need to be putting in my body. So which area do you concentrate, or does that depend on the individual?
All of the above. I'm going to meet the person where they're at. Some people aren't ready to go into their trauma. And I don't make that like a big event. That's kind of running in the background until we're ready to meet it head on. But, you can't heal in a toxic environment, meaning if I'm living in a home that has a lot of different air fresheners and different hormetic disruptors that are going to throw off our hormones and be toxic to our body, it's like you got to take the fish out of the dirty fish bowl, right? So we're going to clean up the diet, we're going to get you moving, we're going to what's appropriate to you. And where I'm different from the typical health coach is, before I started doing the nervous system stuff, I was the guy that was going to give you the restrictive diet and the punishing workout, and that may lead to results quick, but that's going to be detrimental in the long term. And so I'm really about meeting the individual from a holistic standpoint and meeting them where they're at, so that they, through the conversation, they're going to tell me what they need right now and what they're willing to do. And I'm never going to say, hey, you need to do more or do less. It's them. It's not about me. What I want is not important in there. I'm just here to guide. So it's about meeting the client where they're at and what they're ready and capable of handling at the current time. And as we go, you progress.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I want to thank you so much. Once again, let the people know your name and your preferred method of contact.
Yeah, Mitch Webb. You can find me at mitchwebb.com. My email is mitch@mitchwebb.com as well. And I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Wow.